Welcome to this episode of Western Chester County Checks In. I'm your host, Justin Chan, and I'm coming to you live from a kind of chilly Coatesville morning today. We have a great show for you. We have an update on the status of the parks here in Chester County from one of our park rangers. Rachel, our communication coordinator, has an update from the United Way of Chester County. And we have a great food cooking segment from John Serock with Serock Catering. But first, our partner spotlight. For our partner spotlight this week, our executive director, Donna, had a chance to speak with Jonathan Wright of the Wright Agency, a longtime member of the Chamber, past president and a current board member.
Well, welcome, Jonathan. It's good to have you on our show.
Thanks, Donna. Good to be here.
So let's start with a little bit about your history with the Western Chester County Chamber.
Oh my goodness. My history with the Western Chester County Chamber is, feels like I've been a member of for a long time. But I really start to identify with the Chamber about 2008 is when I really remember sort of getting involved and feeling the call to get involved. So about 12 years of active involvement from myself personally.
Well, let's talk about your business for a little bit.
Sure. Yeah, so we're actually here in our 43rd year at the Wright Agency. An independent insurance agency is an insurance business that works with multiple different companies to help their customers find the policy that best suits their needs. So obviously, sort of a brief overview would be homeowners insurance and car insurance, but also a lot of small business insurance make up what we do here at the Wright Agency. And that is one of the main reasons why we've been, and I've been so involved in the Chamber of Commerce, because not only do we have a lot of homes and cars in Western Chester County, but we've got a lot of great small businesses too. So the matchup there has been great. We are licensed to do business in Pennsylvania and Delaware, which is sort of nice for our region here. And we are here on 322, just outside of Downingtown, where we've been since about 1984. Our first 6 or 7 years were actually in the basement of my parents' home, just around the corner here in East Brandywine Township. So we saw one location change, and ever since then, we've been sitting right here on 322, and hopefully we'll be sitting here for a lot longer.
That's great. And I know you've made a lot of connections at the Chamber, which is the value of a Chamber membership.
It is. I mean, you told me when I first started, took me aside and told me something I never forgot is, you get out what you put in. And, you saw a lot of members come and go. And I know you've seen people do very well with their time with the Chamber. And I think you've also seen some people do not so well and maybe be frustrated and leave. And, I didn't want that to be what happened to me. So I really just rolled up my sleeves and I got involved. And, once you start to see it work, then it becomes, a no-brainer at that point.
And we make a lot of good friends here at the Chamber too, right?
We do. It's amazing how I consider so many people friends. And, when I realized that was when my daughter, who's now 4, would be with me at different things. And I would introduce her to someone at a Chamber event or somewhere in public. She would ask me, Daddy, who's that? And I would say, that's my friend. And, that's when you realize it's not a client. It's not a business connection. And it's not a fellow member of the Chamber. It is all those things, but first and foremost, it's a friend, which is cool.
That's awesome. Now I'm going to ask you, why are you a platinum partner with us?
Well, I mean, I think that sort of goes back to what I said about a lot of small businesses in the Chamber. But really, what did it for me is about 3 or 4 years ago, after becoming president and serving my 1-year term, really started to ingrain into the Chamber and do a second term on the board. And I went to an event. I don't remember exactly which event it was, But I remember walking into the room and, there was maybe 40 or 50 people in there. And I just did a quick scan of the room, and the majority of the people in there were businesses I either wanted to work with or I did work with already. And I just thought that was a cool thing. And I thought, you know what, this is where I need to be. And this is a good place to focus my resources. So not only for those businesses that I already do work with and those individuals, but there was so many opportunities there just in that one room at that one event. I thought this is a no-brainer.
Well, we do appreciate your investment. It really helps to keep the lights on at the chamber. Let's finish with your community service work. I know you've done some work with the Honeybrook Food Pantry and other organizations, and that's very commendable. We always love to hear our members getting involved and giving back to the community.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, that's something that's near and dear to me. My dad was, I call him the greatest, the greatest charitable giver I've ever witnessed in my whole life. And he really set a good example for me in giving, and giving a lot, and giving as much as you can, and not just monetarily, but also with your time and with your interest and your energy. And so that's something that we've really tried to do, Maria and I, carry on that legacy. And Honeybrook Food Pantry has been an awesome place for us to sort of support. The Parksburg Point and our fellow board member Dwayne has been another one that we've enjoyed supporting. And of course, we like to support, not just nonprofits and things of that nature, but also the community. I'm wearing my East Brandywine Youth Athletics Wright Agency team shirt. So we always like to support, the youth athletics and, the greater Western Chester County area too. So it's a lot of fun, and it feels good at the same time.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you so much. And we'll turn it back to Justin at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. See you, Donna.
See ya.
Thanks so much for that report, Donna, and thanks, Jonathan, for your involvement with the Chamber and your sponsorship. For our next segment, we had somebody submit in a video to us from the Park Service. Park Ranger Pavolic gave us an update on the status of the parks in Chester County.
I'm Chester County Park Ranger Pavolic, and I'm here to give you some fundamental benefits that you'll get when you go outdoors and connect with nature. All of our county parks will soon be reopening, and we encourage all of you that when you come visit us, please wear a cloth face mask. And this is simply just to be courteous to other park users that you may encounter during your visit. We really do appreciate your cooperation on this. Connecting with nature has enormous health benefits, physically, mentally, emotionally, and for some spiritually. When you go outdoors and connect with nature, you can expect just about all of your senses to be activated and stimulated. Your sense of sight, nature's natural beauty alone. I mean, her beautiful imperfections make her simply perfect. Your sense of hearing, the sound of wind rustling through the trees as if the trees are talking. Your sense of smell, especially this time of year where we have a rebirth and awakening of nature's natural vegetation. You see, for some, nature's natural aroma is extremely healing and therapeutic. And your sense of touch, perhaps some of you will place your hands in the creek and feel her cleansing flow. You see, connecting with nature is just downright good for the soul. We look forward to seeing you. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay strong. I'm Chester County Park Ranger Pavolic, signing out.
Thanks, Sissy, for that report. And we have some great weather coming up this weekend, so hopefully you'll be able to get out and enjoy those parks while, of course, maintaining your social distance. It's time for our community update this week. Our communication coordinator, Rachel, had a chance to sit down with the CEO of United Way of Chester County, Chris, to talk about what United Way is doing to help nonprofits during this time.
Thanks, Justin. Today I'm here with Chris Saello of the United Way of Chester County. How are you, Chris?
Every day's a holiday.
Yeah, certainly. We're glad you could join us today. Can you tell us about the countywide COVID response fund you have created?
Sure. So when the pandemic crisis began, we quickly realized that there was going to need to be some community mobilization. And so on March 16th, we launched the Chester County COVID-19 Response Fund to support the nonprofits and the people that they serve throughout the county, both for immediate rapid response needs as well as emerging needs that we knew would come out over the next couple of months. To date, we've raised $750,000 due to the generosity of so many people, from gifts the size of $1.30 from the lady that works the drive-through in Downingtown McDonald's, all the way up to a $250,000 donation. So people have just been incredibly generous, and that's allowed us to show support for the nonprofits that are frankly still out on the front lines, serving the people in our community every day.
That's excellent. And who can apply for the grants?
So any nonprofit that is located in Chester County and serves Chester County residents, to date, we've already rapidly deployed grants to 53 nonprofits in the county, totaling over $328,000. That was just the month of April alone. We've got another grant review next week, and we'll probably push out another $100,000 more in grants. But anybody can apply, and they can find the application at unitedforchestercounty.org.
Great. And how can anyone, others, get involved, residents in the community?
So we encourage people, regardless of the size of the gift, a little plus a little plus a little equals a lot. So people can give at unitedforchestercounty.org. We also encourage people to share about the fund on social media. This is a fund that serves every inch of the county, so sharing the United Way of Chester County posts on social media, maybe there's a friend that will see it and give as well. The nonprofits in Chester County right now are doing amazing work, and we've seen incredible collaboration, but they're going to need help for a while as our community tries to recover from this unprecedented situation. So we encourage people, go to unitedforchestercounty.org, give. Also reach out to your local nonprofit if you've got time. One of the challenges that we've seen in the community is that a lot of them have lost a lot of their volunteers. So their staff are doing this really on really tight staffing patterns, and they could use a couple extra hands.
Great. So you have, each year you do community impact grants. Are you changing the way these grants are to fit our new normal?
So our normal community impact grant process would be going on right now, and the grants would be awarded to be paid out starting in July. So we're relooking at all that. We normally don't fund agencies. We fund programs that are run by nonprofit agencies. So we're looking at how we can adapt that to meet the needs of nonprofits, maybe switching to general operating grants or extending the current grants for the 50 organizations that currently receive grants from the United Way of Chester County. But we will be definitely modifying that program right now in the middle of the crisis. We don't want agencies to take a lot of time on grant proposals, and we will adapt to make sure that we're meeting their needs and supporting the community the best that we can.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing this information. We certainly will share it in the chamber.
Thank you to the Western Chester County Chamber of Commerce. They've been a long time and great partner of United Way of Chester County, and we appreciate you always helping us try to get the message out. Wonderful organizations that are part of the Western Chester County Chamber, and a lot of them that are supporters of ours already, and a lot of them that we like to call friends as well. So thank you to the Western Chester County Chamber of Commerce for really helping us to spread the word about the great work happening in the nonprofit community.
Thank you for your community support.
Thanks, Rachel, for that update, and thanks to Chris and the United Way of Chester County for all they're doing to help our community. If you would like to have your nonprofit or business featured on our show in either our community update or member minute segment, give an email out to Rachel. Her email is rachel@westernchestercounty.com. So for our last segment today, it's getting close to lunchtime, so I'm getting pretty hungry. I'm sure some of our viewers are as well. John Serock with Serock Catering invited us into his kitchen to tell us how to make shrimp scampi.
Hey everybody, how you doing today? This is John Serock from Serock Catering. Doing a little recipe for my friends over at Chamber of Commerce. Today we're going to do a shrimp scampi. It's a very easy recipe, start to finish, probably under 10 minutes, even for the home cook. So don't think this guy's a chef, he's just saying that. This is going to be a very simple recipe for you. A couple of easy ingredients. We're going to have some garlic, parsley, lemon juice, a little bit of white wine, a little bit of shrimp stock, some butter, and some pasta. If you're doing the low carb thing, you can do zucchini noodles, or you could do rice or quinoa. First step I want to do is I do want to get our pasta going. So I do have a pot of boiling water going. You want to salt your water very generously, but you do want to season your pasta up. I am using a store-bought dry vermicelli noodle. I usually, when I'm cooking this at home, I like to use fresh pasta. But with everything that's going on in the quarantine, not getting out to the supermarket too often, so I'm going to work with some dry pasta today. So the cooking time on this, whenever you see on the box, it'll have an estimated cooking time. For the vermicelli, it's saying about 6 to 8 minutes. I'm going to pull it at about 6 minutes because I want to keep it a little bit al dente. The key for a really good shrimp scampi is we're going to finish the pasta in the sauce. While our pasta is cooking, we want to prepare the rest of our ingredients. So we're going to start with some cloves of garlic. I have whole peeled garlic. I like to do mine very thin sliced. If anybody saw Goodfellas, they were sitting there with the razor blade doing nice thin shaves of the garlic. Gives you a lot more surface area. And I also like to add in some crushed garlic. So we just use the heel of our knife, kind of work it into the cutting board, and give it a little bit of a mince. When I start my garlic, I'm going to start the sliced garlic first, and then I'm going to add in towards the end the minced garlic because I do not want that to burn up. And then also a little bit of fresh parsley, which is going to get thrown in at the end. We want to keep this all separate. And then our shrimp. Now I've already taken the liberty of peeling the shrimp. We are using a U15 shrimp today. So people always ask me, they say, well, what are all these numbers when I see on shrimp? U20, U30. That is your size per pound. So U15 shrimp is approximately 15 shrimp per pound. What I did was I peeled and deveined these already. The shells I put in made a stock. And then I'm just going to cut down the back and make sure that all the veins are out of the back. Okay, so our pasta is now cooking. We've got a nice hot pan. We're going to use some extra virgin olive oil. Key is to, even if you use a blended oil, you don't want to use a real expensive olive oil when you're sauteing. Some of the really nice ones you'll see, the cold pressed ones that are on the market, they're more for finishing oil. Use them in salads and on the end of a hot dish. But I'm just using a nice extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to put about 3 tablespoons into the pan. We're going to have a nice sizzle. Now this is where you have to really be working quick. So we're going to add our sliced garlic. And I'm literally only going to give that about 15-20 seconds. It's already starting to get that nice nutty golden brown flavor and color to it. I'm going to add in my minced garlic and then immediately my shrimp. So we have our shrimp in the pan. We're going to hit it with a little bit of kosher salt, a little bit of crushed red pepper. I like to put just a little bit of granulated garlic. Going to give that a quick toss. A little bit of crushed black pepper. We're going to let that go for about 30 seconds, and then we're going to add in our shrimp stock. So our shrimp have been cooking now for a little bit less than a minute. I'm going to give it just a touch of white wine, and that is completely optional. If you're serving this to children, it's still okay. If you want to put a little wine in, the alcohol will cook off in the process, as well as some shrimp stock. What I do with my shrimp stock is I take the shells and I just simmer them for about 45 minutes to get a nice reduction out of it and get the flavor out of it. Shrimp are cooking up nicely. We want to add about half of our fresh parsley to the pan, and then we're going to take our pasta. As I said, we're keeping that pasta a little bit al dente. We're going to finish that in the sauce. The starch from the pasta will help thicken up the sauce. Other tricks you can do if you like more of a thicker sauce is you can use a little cornstarch and water, make a little slurry, mix that in with your sauce before the pasta. But again, if you're undercooking the pasta, you're going to really be able to use a lot of that starch for that. So my pasta is now coming off, and notice I'm not draining it. I'm taking it right out of the pan. I want to use a little bit of that liquid. I want to get some of that liquid in there to help with my sauce, as well as I want to make sure I'm getting that starch right in there. And I'm going to hit it with a little bit of lemon juice, fresh lemon, nice vibrant lemon, and a little bit of whole butter. Really key that you're using salted, cold whole butter, because as the butter mixes in with your pasta, that's going to thicken it as well. There we go, shrimp scampi. Take some of our pasta, nice mix with that sauce. Arrange our shrimp right around the outside. A little bit of your sauce right on top. I like to finish it with the real good olive oils like I spoke with in the beginning. A little bit of good olive oil, nice cold press, a little bit of fresh parsley, and there you go, shrimp scampi.
Thanks, John, for that. Definitely know what I'll be making for dinner tonight. If you'd like to support Serock Catering, they have a few things they're doing right now. They have a dinner for two this weekend, and then next week they're continuing their Westchester Cares program, where you can order dinner for your family, and they will then donate another dinner to a needy family. So visit his website, which is serockcatering.com, for those details. So that's it for our program today. I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to please comment on our social channels. Let us know what you think. Have a good rest of the day, and we will see you next Wednesday at the same time, 11:30 in the morning.